22-0, 17 knockouts. At one point, he had a streak of 16 straight first-round knockouts. He hails from the beautiful borough of Brooklyn, proudly representing that heritage of Puerto Rico. He's the hard-hitting, the undefeated, the WBA #1 ranked super middleweight contender. He is Edgar Berlanga.
Now she wanna chase. It's that shit that make her wanna shake. See him moving, now she wanna chase. Yeah, your boy back, everything lit. It's lit. It's lit. It's lit. You know I got the wave, I don't need to swim. And it's lit. And it's lit. And it's lit. I was in the can, now I'm freed up.
Berlanga. He's going to be facing a man who needs no introduction. 61, 2-2, 39 knockouts. The boy's box office, a true global superstar, a Mexican boxing icon, 4-division world champion. He's fought in 25 world title bouts. He is the first undisputed super middleweight champion in this 4-belt era. Future Hall of Famer. He's the current WBA, WBC, WBO super middleweight champion of the world. He is Saul Canelo Álvarez.
Que muera el barrio prendido ya quemó afuera. Soy mexicano, esa es mi bandera. Yo la levanto por donde quiera. Verde, blanco, rojo hasta que muera. El barrio prendido ya quemó afuera. Me voy tendido, me voy empinando mi bote. Un poco más por la bebida y el borlote. Me tiene la riata la gente con su mitote. Pero me despreocupo, me pelan todo el garrote. Me falla la chota ya es por mi apariencia. Que hay tantos delitos, que hay tanta demencia. Yo no cargo nada, no más mi presencia. Pinche puerco joto atende a las consecuencias. Si no topa el pollo en breve nos para en la calle. No puede salir.
Canelo Álvarez, Edgar Berlanga.
Frente vertiano de frente.
Gentlemen, take your seats. Again, tickets are now on sale, AXS.com. And regardless if you have a Prime membership, you can purchase this fight through Prime Video, DAZN.com, PPV.com, as well as you can access it through your telecast through the traditional cable and satellite providers as well. It is being promoted by Canelo Promotions, TGB Promotions in association with Matchroom Boxing. Let me bring here to the podium the president of TGB Promotions, Mr. Tom Brown.
Thank you, Brian. It's great to be back here in New York, announcing yet again another Canelo Alvarez fight, a fight that'll be honoring the Mexican Independence Day weekend. Now, this will be Canelo's 4th fight and 3rd fight in a row under the Premier Boxing Champions banner. And I just want to say what a privilege and an honor it is to have worked with Saul, Canelo Promotions, and Eddie Reynoso on all of these events. And as Brian said, he'll be taking on the hard-hitting, undefeated WBA #1 ranked contender, Edgar Berlanga. In Canelo's first fight, back in 2021 with PBC, he beat the undefeated IBF champion, Caleb Plant, to become the first undisputed super middleweight champion. Then he came back, he took on Jermell Charlo, and for the first time in the 4-belt era, it was an unprecedented matchup between 2 reigning undisputed champions. And in his last fight, he took on yet another undefeated fighter, the 43-0 former world champion, Jaime Munguia, in a historic All Mexican Showdown and Cinco de Mayo weekend. And now, on September 14th at the T-Mobile Arena, the Mexican fans and Puerto Rican fans are going to be in for a wild scene out in Las Vegas. And not just on fight night, but all week during fight week. They're going to be loud and boisterous. Flags are going to be waving. Fans are going to be screaming because national pride is on the line. And we all know that both Mexican fighters and Puerto Rican fighters love to slug it out. So we've got a great night and looking forward to it. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Tom Brown. Let me introduce some of the people you see here on the stage. Of course, you know Tom Brown, President of TGB Promotions. Louis DeCubas Jr. Talking about the management team here of Canelo Alvarez, his manager, and one of the greatest trainers in the sport of boxing, Eddie Reynoso, obviously here, and the champ. To my left, your right, Edgar Berlanga, his father and trainer, Edgar Berlanga Sr. You've got the chairman of Matchroom, Eddie Hearn. It's a long time, my brother. Good to see you. Keith Connolly, talk about the manager of Edgar Berlanga as well. You know what, since it's been a long time since we've seen each other, how about bringing him up to the podium? He is the chairman of Matchroom Sports, Mr. Eddie Hearn.
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome. And what a moment for Edgar Berlanga at a time when boxing is red hot. Of course, last weekend, every weekend is a mega fight week, and it doesn't get any bigger than Canelo Alvarez fight weeks. We've missed the Canelo Alvarez fight weeks, and this time we come as the opponent. Many opponents we've had have faced him in the past: Billy Joe Saunders, Callum Smith, John Ryder, Rocky Fielding, and now we have a real shot in Edgar Berlanga. It's been interesting to see the response. I think Edgar's been overlooked, disrespected. He's the #1 challenger with the WBA. He's the mandatory challenger. He's earned the right to this shot. And when we signed him 13 months ago, we promised him a shot at the great Canelo Alvarez. As things moved on, that shot looked as though it would become more difficult. And as always, it's the lottery ticket of boxing to land the shot against Canelo Alvarez. And for that, we want to thank everybody at the PBC, Louis, Tom, and of course, the champ and Eddie for taking this fight with Edgar. Keith Connolly done a great job to get this made. But this isn't just about winning the lottery. This is about claiming the ticket. And Edgar Berlanga is here only to win. 16 first-round knockouts in his first 16 fights, 22-0. This kid has amateur pedigree. This kid has ability. This kid has dynamite in his hands, and this kid has a big set of cojones that will put everything on the line on September the 14th. I know that Canelo Alvarez wants real fights, guys that will come to him to win. This guy won't dance around the ring. He won't try and survive the 12 rounds. He will come for a firefight with Canelo Alvarez. And yes, it is Puerto Rico against Mexico, but it's deeper than that. This is an opportunity of a lifetime for Edgar and his father. He's dedicated his life to the sport. And I promise you, he will give every inch of his soul in Las Vegas. Tom is right. This is going to be a wild week. Canelo Alvarez weeks always are. Incredible scenes. But remember one thing. This guy is here to fight. This guy is here to dethrone the king. And he will give it everything and let his hands go on a wild night in Las Vegas on September the 14th. Thank you.
Thank you, Eddie. When you talk about management in the sport of boxing, the DeCubas is probably one of the best. You know, on the other side here, you got another one of the best in the sport. He's the manager of Edgar Berlanga, Mr. Keith Connolly.
Great to be here. Excited to be involved in another mega event with one of my guys, Edgar Berlanga. I've been up here a few times in the same situation. We've come up a little short, but all my guys have put on great performances. I expect nothing else from Edgar Berlanga. As Eddie said before, I think a lot of people are overlooking Edgar, but the kid is young, he's strong, and I know for a fact he's got the will to win. So I want to thank Canelo Alvarez for giving us this opportunity. Obviously, Eddie Hearn, I mean, an amazing job. Our one goal when we signed with Eddie Hearn, we said, get us the Canelo Alvarez fight. And a little over a year later, we're right here where we want to be. I also want to say a special thanks to Louis DeCubas. I feel like we've become brothers over the last couple of months. I want to thank Eddie Reynoso, the manager of Canelo Alvarez, for giving us this opportunity. Also want to thank my buddy Al Heyman for making this negotiation, even though it's between two rival promoters, pretty smooth. Thank you, Eddie, as well. Two Hall of Famers. The fact that those two guys, Eddie Hearn and Al Heyman, aren't in the Hall of Fame yet, it's a travesty, but that's a conversation for another day. Two greats of the sport. And I want to thank Tom Brown, the promoter of the show. I really think September 14th is going to be a tremendous event. Mexico versus Puerto Rico. And like I said, Edgar's got bombs in his hands, and I expect him to shock the world on September 14th.
Coming to the podium, this man is the manager of Canelo Alvarez, and, you know, arguably, you could say probably the best trainer in the sport of boxing. He's won the award countless times, Mr. Eddie Reynoso. Genesis, once again, will do the translation.
Buenas tardes. Antes que nada, pues agradecer a todos los que están aquí presentes, la prensa. Agradecer al señor Aljaime por ser posible esta pelea, a Matchroom, al equipo de Edgar Berlanga. Sabemos que las peleas entre México y Puerto Rico siempre van a ser guerras, así lo dice la historia, desde los triunfos de Julio César Chávez, los triunfos de Salvador Sánchez. Creo que este 14 de septiembre vamos a enfrentar a un tremendo boxeador, un gran prospecto de Puerto Rico y que quiere llevarse los cinturones. Nosotros vamos a hacer nuestro trabajo, vamos a hacer una gran preparación y esperen una gran pelea ese día 14 de septiembre. Y una vez más, muy agradecidos por todos los que vinieron aquí a apoyar esta pelea. Muchas gracias.
Good afternoon. Thank you all for being here today. September will be a very exciting day. In Mexico, fighting is a huge thing. I want to thank all the team at PBC. And once again, I am thankful that all of you are here and looking forward to September 14.
And we look forward to seeing this next man in the ring. He's unbeaten, 22-0. 17 of his victories have come by knockout. Fighting out of Brooklyn, New York. Training now in Tampa, Florida. Representing that Boricua in Puerto Rico, the undefeated WBA #1 ranked contender, Edgar Berlanga.
First and foremost, I want to thank my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, for this opportunity. I want to thank PBC. I want to thank Louis DeCubas, Al Heyman, Matchroom, Eddie Hearn, my manager, Keith Conley, my dad, Edgar Berlanga Sr., and I also want to thank Team Canelo for giving us this opportunity. Listen, man, you know, there's a lot of doubt out there on me and a lot of hate, but I've been facing adversities, man. I've been facing hate all my life, you know. There's my opportunity to become a great champion, but also be legendary in the sport of boxing. I want to thank everybody that came out tonight. You know, and September 14th is going to be something to remember. I keep telling y'all, man, superstar status, you know. It's going to be something amazing, man. Puerto Rico versus Mexico. That's the biggest rivalry in boxing, you know. And we're looking forward to making history September 14th. Fireworks, baby. Thank you, guys. I love y'all.
Coming to the podium, the unified champion. 61, 2-2. 39 of his victories have come by knockout. He hails from Guadalajara, Jalisco, Mexico. He's legendary. He's a boxing superstar. 4-division world champion. He's the reigning WBA, WBC, and WBO super middleweight champion of the world. He is Canelo Alvarez.
Thank you. Muchas gracias. Muchas gracias. Thank you everybody for coming. And thank you all, Jaimon. Thank you, Luis. Thank you, Eddie. Tom, thank you. Eddie Hearn, my boy. Thank you. Thank you. All the team. I'm very happy to be here in this position, Mexico versus Puerto Rico. I'm not overlooking him. I know he's a strong fighter, young fighter, and I'm gonna put all my best in the training, all my best in the fight to put it a great fight. And I'm just happy. I love boxing. I love what I do, and I'm happy to be here. And other one. And remember, this fight is gonna be a great fight, and it's gonna be a great day for Mexico. Thank you so much.
Gentlemen, let's talk about the fight. Champ, I'll start with you.
Okay.
I'll ask you the question I'm sure you're going to get from the press, so we might as well get it out of the way now. Tell everybody why Edgar Berlanga and not David Benavidez or Terrence Crawford.
I think this fight is a good fight for the people, no? Mexico versus Puerto Rico, always a great fight, and I think it's a good fight for the people.
Edgar, I've watched some of your social media, and I heard you say a little bit of that today. Why do you think you're being overlooked?
Like I said before, man, I always been overlooked. You know, even if I had a world title, I'll still be overlooked. You know, I've been overlooked all my life, and I said this earlier on a Breakfast Club. I said that, you know, when I first turned pro, nobody wanted to sign me. No promotion wanted to sign me. And I had to go there, dig my feet deep in the ground, and work and knock people out. And I started knocking people out in the first round, and that's when everybody started wanting to sign me. So, you know, I feel like I'm in the same position right now, you know, getting this fight with Canelo. A lot of people was, you know, talking shit. Before that, I'm fighting cab drivers. Now that I'm fighting a legend, they saying I'm gonna get knocked the fuck out. You know what I'm saying? So with the people, like Fat Joe said, you never win. So I just put my head down, keep working, stay humble, and you know, and then just turn up September 14th, man. This is something legendary for the sport of boxing, you know. And I don't want to hear, listen, man, I don't want to hear Benavidez, fuck Benavidez. You know, shout out to Crawford, you know what I'm saying? But they keep mentioning Crawford. He fought a 54-pounder. You know, it was a tough fight. You know, we got business to handle September 14th. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people just keep mentioning Benavidez and all these guys, man. Like, y'all know it's not going to happen. You feel me? And that's just that, man. Like, September 14th, Berlanga, Canelo, Puerto Rico versus Mexico.
Canelo, he's gotten a chip on his shoulder. Feels like you're overlooking him. Tell him, what is Edgar going to get on September 14th? What should he expect?
No, you know, I never overlook my opponents. I know Edgar Berlanga is young, is strong, but at the end of the day, he have a big challenge in front. It's gonna be a great fight. He's gonna experience something different, and the people is gonna enjoy this fight.
Edgar, these are the type of fights that bring something special out of a fighter. Can you let the people know, let Canelo know what he's going to get and what they're going to see on September 14th when you step into the ring with Canelo Alvarez?
September 14th, man, you know, he's definitely going to bring the best out of me. Like, everything that I know who I am, my coach, my father, he's going to have the best Edgar Berlanga ever. you know. And one thing about me is that when I step up in competition, everything else steps up as far as my boxing ability. You know, this fight is nothing physical. It's nothing physical. He fought guys that's strong. He fought Triple G. He fought bigger guys, Bivol. This fight is all mental, man. You know what I'm saying? It's the IQ, is the to be intelligent, you know, in that ring. And he brings a lot of that. So we got to make sure we match that. You know, it's will versus will. Is who could break whose will. Is line versus line. And you know, I'm Puerto Rican. I'm young. I'm strong. And, you know, it's going to be fireworks September 14th, man. You know, I'm not running. We're not going nowhere. We're going to stay right there. And we're going to do what we do.
I like it. He says he's not running. He's going to be right there. Is that the kind of fight that you want and that you like, Canelo? A firefight?
I love it. I love it. I love it. I really love it.
Come on, man. You got
don't-
Puerto Rico versus Mexico, man.
I
Like,
don't,
two
I don't,
warriors.
I don't expect anything else. I know he's gonna come to bring everything, and me too. And that's the fight I really like it. I love it, and I'm gonna enjoy a lot.
What does this rivalry mean to you? We always hear that Puerto Rico versus Mexico. What does that mean to you?
Oh, it means a lot because it's history. It's history. We had great fights versus Mexico, Puerto Rico, and I think this is gonna be other one to the books of boxing.
Edgar, same question. What does that mean to you when we talk about that Mexico versus Puerto Rico rivalry?
Listen, man, I'm 27 years old. I started boxing when I was 7 years old, 20 years in the game. And we've been dreaming about this since I was a kid. And when I turned pro, Canelo Alvarez was on my mind. And anybody out there knows, I manifested this fight. You know, between my hard work and keeping God first, we got the fight. And, you know, we're here now, man. It's a blessing to be here, you know, and I want to thank everybody, man. This fight is going to be something to remember. And it's crazy because this year, right after I knocked out Patrick McCorry, we didn't know we was going to get the Canelo fight. I had a dream with Canelo in my dream. And he was at my fight, he watched me. And I knocked the dude out. And he looked up in the dream. And he was with somebody. He told somebody, you see that kid right there? I was on top of the ring, going crazy. He was like, you see that kid? We're going to make history. He didn't say the date. When I woke up, I already knew. I said, yeah, we getting this fight in September, 1,000%.
Kid's hungry. Says he's been dreaming about this fight and dreaming about you. How does that motivate you?
Relax.
You know what I mean.
No Mookie stuff, man.
Right.
Yeah, please, bro.
You know what I mean.
I like that.
So he's been fiending. He's been fiending to get his paws on you. How does that motivate you when you know you got somebody who said, I've had you marked my entire career?
I feel great. You know, somebody dreaming about me. It's perfect. I like it. And he got it.
So we'll wrap it up with this. I'll start with you, Edgar. Saturday, September 14th, Las Vegas, PBC pay-per-view. There'll be a lot of people. That arena's going to be sold out. There's going to be a lot of people who are going to put down their hard-earned money to buy this fight. What can you guarantee they're going to get when Edgar Berlanga steps into the ring with Canelo Alvarez?
Like I said before, fireworks. You know, they think, you know, we don't predict the fights, you know what I'm saying? And we're going in there and we're going to do what we do, you know. Fireworks, baby. Superstar status. You know, it's legendary September 14th, man. It's Puerto Rico versus Mexico. Y'all gotta understand, man. Fuck all the haters, man. You know, fuck all the haters and whoever's on social media chatting and talking, because for every hater is another pay-per-view buy, man. So get your pay-per-view ready, man.
Champ, we'll wrap it up with you. September 14th, for all those people who will come out, lay down their hard-earned money, what can you guarantee they're going to get when you step into the ring with Edgar Berlanga? He says he's going to become a legend that night. What can you guarantee they're going to get?
We'll see. That's we have this fight, right? and I'm gonna put my best like always, and I always say that it's not the same call the lion to see they coming. So it's gonna be a really good night for boxing. I guarantee that.
Folks, September 14th, T-Mobile Arena, the fight capital of the world, the unified super middleweight champion, Canelo Alvarez, against the #1 contender, the unbeaten Edgar Berlanga. Gentlemen, let's have one last face-off. One last face-off in the middle.
Security out here.
Appreciate it. Good stuff. Good to meet you, sir. Good stuff. Thank you, sir. Puerto Rico versus Mexico. September 14th, T-Mobile Arena. Canelo versus Berlanga. The rivalry. And you can see it. PBC pay-per-view. Prime Video. The unified super middleweight champion against the #1 contender, Canelo Álvarez, Edgar Berlanga. We'll see you September 14th from Las Vegas. Don't forget, we'll also see you tomorrow from Los Angeles. Thanks for watching, everyone.
Hasta que amanezca, hacer un mezcal y que no se pague la yesca. Ya saben que aquí andamos pilas para lo que se ofrezca. Esta rima se va que se nos enloquezca.
¿Dónde? Yo la sangre que escurre de una nueva vida. Yo salí de la ruina, nunca se me olvida. Con disciplina y respeto sigo en la movida. Bien, la vida.